Hi, I'm Jeff Mason. Let me take you on a little tour of the Mercedes-Benz C63 Type S. As we've done in previous videos, we've talked about how the Mercedes-Benz C-Class is one of the most varied ranges in the Mercedes-Benz lineup. At the very top of that range is the C63 S. Behind me are two C63 S's. The one on my right, the white car, is a C63 S sedan, and the one on my left is a matte black C63 S coupe. Not in this frame, but also available, would be a C63 S convertible. Mechanically, these two cars are incredibly similar. It really comes down to whether you want the practicality of the four-door or the sporty styling of the two-door. So one of the unique things about both the C63 and the C63 S are that they are only available in rear-wheel drive configurations. People ask me, why is that done? Well, to be honest, there's nothing like rear-wheel drive for true performance driving. Let's talk about some of the things that make these cars so special. Obviously, the engine is one of the real crowning jewels of this car. But beyond that, there's other things that also make it a very special vehicle. Let's start with the suspension. It has Mercedes-Benz AMG Sport Suspension with 3-stage damping. That's controlled via a selector switch right on the center console. That gives you the flexibility of having a relatively comfortable suspension setting for just cruising around town, a medium setting for those twisty roads, and a full race setting for being on the track. So what else makes these cars special? Well, they both have ESP dynamic cornering assist. What is that? Well, that's Mercedes-Benz torque vectoring system. So what is torque vectoring? Well, when we talk about a car's handling, there are basically 3 attitudes of the car. You can have a car that understeers. That's what happens when you turn the steering wheel, but the car doesn't turn as much as you want. We often experience that in wet or slippery conditions. The other option is oversteer. That's what happens when you do a donut or when you get on the gas too hard and the back end of the car starts to turn more than you were looking for. Neutral steering, well, that's the holy grail. That's the one where the car handles just perfectly. So, what is torque vectoring? Torque vectoring is where the car is using its systems to help keep the vector, otherwise known as the angle of the vehicle, in line with what the driver's input is actually looking for. So what this is going to do is if it detects understeer, meaning you've turned the steering wheel but the car hasn't turned as much as you want, it's actually going to use the brakes to put a little bit of brake just on the inside rear wheel, which is then going to send more torque to the outside rear wheel to help you get around that turn extra quick. Standard on both of these vehicles is also Mercedes-Benz race start function. While we certainly wouldn't call either of these cars drag racers, they can certainly hold their own. By putting the car in race start function, it will optimize revs and traction to give you the ultimate straight line start. If we're talking about the C63, we've got to talk about the engine, and this is a really special engine. The C63 S has a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. Each engine is made by hand by just one engine builder in Othalterbach, where the AMG plant is. Each engine is then signed by the builder, so you know that who made your engine. So let's talk about this engine. It's really special. Let's talk numbers. It makes 503 horsepower and 516 foot-pounds of torque. But what's really special about that is it makes that torque starting at just 1,750 RPM and goes all the way up to 4,500 RPM. I get asked all the time, well, what is torque, what is horsepower? Think of it this way. Horsepower is what you're going to use to get that top speed. But when you want to get thrown in the back of your seat, when you punch that gas, that's torque. Torque is twisting action. And so you want that torque to come on as low as possible. That's what is so special about that engine. And by having such a wide range from 1,750 RPM all the way up to 4,500 RPM, that means that no matter where the engine is in the power band, when you get on that gas, you're going to feel it. So one of the things that makes this engine really special is the location of the turbochargers. And you're probably going, what? Why would that matter? Well, this is what Mercedes-Benz calls their hot inside V technology. And it's actually direct trickle-down technology from the Mercedes-Benz Petronas AMG Formula One team. What Mercedes-Benz has done by locating the turbochargers in the center of the V of the engine is to decrease the time and the distance of the turbochargers to the cylinders, thus decreasing turbo lag and increasing that immediate hit of torque that you're going to feel. One of the things that makes this car really unique is how the engine is mounted to the car. So all cars have engine mounts. This car has dynamic engine mounts. The way Mercedes-Benz does that is the mounts are filled with a unique fluid called magnetor-heliological fluid. Well, what is that big word? Basically, it's fluid with very, very minute metal particles in it. And by controlling the electrical current going through the mount, you can change the viscosity, how thick that fluid is. So why does that matter? Well, when you're talking about a really powerful engine, there are vibrations that go with it. And in the old days, a car with a really powerful engine also came with a lot of vibration in the car. So what this is able to do is that depending on the setting, it can change how stiff those engine mounts are. When you're really getting on the gas and you want the maximum performance, those mounts are going to get super stiff. Yeah, there will be a little bit of vibration that goes with it, but you're going to get the maximum performance. But when you're just driving around town, going to work, going to the grocery store, those mounts loosen up, and that means you're not going to feel those harsh vibrations in the car. Despite this being a truly extreme performance machine, it's also Mercedes-Benz, and that means that you're still going to get that incredible, impeccable fit and finish interior quality. This particular car has some pretty unique options. It has the upgraded performance seats, which even though they are race performance seats, they also are still heated and ventilated and are fully power adjustable. We also have the AMG carbon fiber interior on the center dash. Let me talk you through a couple other options here. This particular car also has the AMG Drive Unit. What is that? Well, there are actually two screens mounted to the steering wheel. The one on the right is controlled by the Marionetto, which is a little dial that you can turn around. And what that does is that allows you to change what drive mode you're in on the fly instantly while you're driving without going down to the center console to change the dynamic select switch. They do accomplish the exact same thing, but it's just a lot easier while you're driving to spin the little dial. Over on the left, you have two buttons on a separate screen. The button on the bottom controls the damping on the suspension. Earlier, I talked about how this car does have 3 stages of suspension settings. It's got Comfort, Sport, and then Sport Plus. And you can, again, press that right there on the center control. You have another option of selecting that on the button right in the center console as well. Above that, you can engage or disengage the traction control if you want to have a little sideways fun. Thanks for taking the time to go over these amazing cars with me. The C63 S is a really amazing vehicle, and Mercedes-Benz is right to be very proud of them. These cars can go from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, all the way up to a top speed of 186 miles an hour. But they're not just track machines, they are totally capable daily drivers. Many of our customers use them every single day as family haulers to go to school and go to work. But they're also the ultimate thrill on the weekends. As always, go ahead, like and subscribe us so that you keep up to date on all the latest happenings here at Zimbrick. And feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions or if you have any specific requests of what you'd like to see us do in a future video. Have a great day.